Do the Raiders have a cap issue? Okay, so this conversation needs to be talked about because Maxx Crosby came back, and Maxx Crosby has said that he will not be traded. He is not taking a trade under any circumstance. Once we draft all of our players, the Raiders, I believe, will have around $10 million left in cap space. However, do not worry, because remember, all of our players that we have signed on the contract, this is it for the next several years. We don't really have to sign anybody to a big contract anymore for at least the next 2 to 3 years. Secondly, the two people whose contracts were eating up most of our cap space can easily be restructured. That would be Colton Miller and Maxx Crosby. Yes, Colton Miller and Maxx Crosby, their contracts will be restructured next year. Why? Well, for one, Colton Miller keeps getting injured. So we need to keep that in mind. Colton Miller gets injured a lot. Pretty much every year he's going to miss several games. So a player like that is prime candidate to have their contracts restructured. So I do expect a contract restructuring for Colton Miller. Maybe not this year, but definitely next year. And also Maxx Crosby, because again, if Max wants to be a Raider for life, he actually does need to restructure his contract anyways, because right now, I think he only has like 2 years guaranteed. So he does need to restructure anyways if he wants to be a Raider for life, which would then extend him for another 5 to 6 years. That way he can actually be a Raider for life. So yes, both of those contracts will need to be restructured. But the biggest thing to keep in mind is this. With Mendoza, the Raiders don't have to sign a quarterback to a long contract for at least 3 years. And the reason why that works is unless Mendoza goes to the playoffs or wins a Super Bowl, we don't have to re-sign him for another 3 years. If Mendoza's actually not great right up the gate in the first year, if he's not great, we can actually just pick up his 5th-year option like the Panthers did for Bryce Young. Is that his name? Yeah, Bryce Young now. So Bryce Young is going to play on a 5th-year contract because for the first year and a half, Bryce Young didn't really perform up to par. So we can take the same route with Mendoza, meaning that we don't have to shell out huge money to a quarterback for the next 3 to possibly 4 years. So is the Raiders cap space good? It's actually great. It's actually great. Namely because every single one of our starters now are under contract for the next 3 years. Eric Stokes, Quay Walker, Nakobe Dean, Lindenbaum. All of those guys are now under contract for the next 3 years. Meaning for the next 3 years, the Raiders just have to pay their rookies.